Hello lovely couples and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren, wedding planner and owner of Bluebird Creative. If you haven't already, then make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you'll be notified every week when a new video lands. This channel is all about bringing you some wedding planning goodness for the modern couple. So let's just dive straight into today's video, which is all about how to choose your wedding venue and those first steps in the process to doing that. So let's jump on in. So in this week's video, I'm actually going to take you inside my computer as well for the first time, so you can actually see some of the tools I use, how I lay out my spreadsheet and that kind of thing, just to help you guys with that side of the process, so that when you come away from the video, you've already got some more information to get those steps rolling, instead of coming away and then going, okay, but how do I do it? So hopefully that helps you guys. So let's just dig straight in to how to go about choosing and finding the right wedding venue for you. So the first thing you need to do is obviously do my first steps to planning your wedding. I will link it for you here, which basically means that you need to have had the discussion as to kind of when you want to get married, how many people you want to invite and your guest list, what your budget is, really important. I go on about it all the time. So important. And where you want to get married. So those are the 4 things that are absolutely crucial to starting your wedding planning. So just to recap, where, when, how much, and who. Where, when, how, and who. Okay, without knowing roughly how many people you want to invite to your wedding, you do not know what venues you can approach. Without having an idea of where you want to get married, well, you're literally going to be looking anywhere across the world. If you want to get married abroad, say in Italy, don't start looking in the home counties in England. You know, waste of time. If you don't know your budget, you don't know what type of venues are actually in your budget and what you can afford and whether it's realistic with the amount of people that you want to invite. And the when, you don't need to be too set on the when. It's just a good idea to know, is it 2022, 2025? Do you want to get married in September, in autumn, in spring? That sort of thing. Just to have an idea so that when you're approaching venues, you know when to ask their availability. So we've talked about those 4 steps very briefly, and I'm going to go into some of them in a little bit more detail because they obviously are relevant to the venue search themselves. So first of all, you've got to write down those guest numbers. You've got to get that guest list going, because without that, it's very difficult to suss out whether your budget actually reflects the amount of people that you've got coming, and that will reflect the style and how elaborate you can make your wedding. So know those guest numbers. No, not everybody will be able to make it, but it just makes the whole process so much easier. Otherwise you might book somewhere and then not everybody can fit, or you'll book somewhere and it's going to be way too big. Know your guest numbers. It also means that when you end up going to search for your venue, and I'm going to show you a few of the tools that I use, you can actually input how many people are coming to the wedding and find wedding venues that actually fit within that capacity, which makes the process a lot quicker. Trust me, because this is one of the longest parts of your planning process. So then you want to make sure that you've got an idea of your location, even if it's broad. Do you want to get married within 2 hours of where you live? Do you want to get married abroad? Do you want to get married in Scotland? It doesn't matter where it is, and it can be fairly broad, but you need to have a little bit of an idea. Otherwise, again, the process is going to take ages. So just narrowing it down as much as you can will make a really big difference. If you know that you want it local to where you are so that people can just travel there within the day, then again, you know to just search within your local area. So then we've talked about knowing your budget for your wedding, which I know I harp on about it all the time because I'm trying to make sure that you know how important it is. But once you know that full budget for your wedding, and it can be rough, but you need to work it out, then you can work out how much to set aside for your wedding venue, or how much you've actually got for your wedding venue. I have a video that breaks down the budget properly, so you can check that out here. What I've done is I've done my formula, which again is in my budgeting video, and I've broken down the different percentages of your budget, or my budget, or my client's budget, and how much I tend to allocate in terms of a percentage towards each part of your wedding planning. Now, we're obviously not going through the different percentages today because this video is about venue. Think sort of like 45% for venue and catering. Now, I clump that together because a lot of the time they can come as one. So you may get a package, or you may find that it's an in-house caterer and that they charge like a set thing and it's part of and included with the venue fee. You may have a dry hire venue and you might be pulling the caterer in separately, but I clump it together. But 20% for the venue and then 25% towards sort of like catering and food, but together 45%. I hope that makes sense. And that will then obviously give you how much you have to actually put towards your venue, which is really crucial. So at this point, now you should have a clue as to how many people you're looking to host for your wedding, how much you have towards your venue, where or within an area where you're looking to get married. And the final thing we need to do before we can start searching for your venue is just to get an idea of the style that you're after, just to try and narrow that search down again. So are you looking for a marquee wedding or a teepee? Are you looking to have like a rustic barn in the countryside? Are you looking to have your wedding by the sea, on the coast, abroad? Are you looking to have a country manor house on an estate? There's lots of different types of venues, a hotel perhaps. You need to get a little bit of an idea of what you're drawn to, and again that might come from having done sort of like your Pinterest research and just seeing what you're attracted to. I've done a video on the real first steps to your wedding planning before we go into like the budget and the location, so you can check that out here. But now that you have got an idea of your style, so you're going for a rustic barn, you've got £5,000 to spend on your venue, you know that you want to get married in say the southeast of England and that you want to be hosting up to 120 guests. Let's say that that is your criteria. So what you need to do now is to actually start the search. So I'm going to show you a couple of the different places where I look for clients. I obviously have a range of places that I have connections with, but sometimes if we're looking a little bit further afield, there's a couple of websites that are super helpful to help you find the right wedding venue for you. So I'm going to take you onto my computer now so that you can have a nosy as to how it works. Okay, so this is the Coco Weddings website, which I think is really amazing, and I even use this when I'm searching for client venues if they're outside of sort of some that I might know that actually fit. So as you can see, they've got sort of different sections that are broken down into style, and at the bottom here you've got the wedding venue finder. So I'm just popping in a location, so I'm just going to pop in the southeast. Style, let's go with rustic romance. Venue type, we'll go with barn because that obviously fits in with rustic romance. And then capacity, sort of this one, say we're looking at 120 guests, and then it brings you up with a list of absolutely beautiful venues that fit within your criteria that you've popped in. Now obviously there wasn't a budget criteria. That's the only thing that I would say would be really helpful and isn't on here, and you do then have to reach out to the venues to get the budget. But it is such a high-end beautiful selection of venues. This one in particular here, the barn at Botley Hill, is a venue that I work at. I've got a couple of weddings at next year as well, and it is just stunning. This quick view tab is so handy. You've got all the different sections, so capacity for ceremony, licensed, yes, accommodation, etc. You can add it to the shortlist here, and then this button takes you through to the full venue page. So you can launch the gallery and have a look at all the photos. There's the information that we've just looked at, which just gives you a quick overview of the venue, some more info, some more photos. It just gives you a bit more of an idea about the vibes. Some venues have videos, not all of them do. And then at the bottom here you've got the contact details, so you can email them, check out their website, give them a call and progress further. And you can also add them to your shortlist to help you sort of narrow down the search. So this website I do find really helpful. These tabs at the top, so we obviously just filled it in at the bottom of the home page, but you can actually go into the search like we've just done here and tweak. So there's the different styles, the different venue types. There's a lot more when you come into this section. The capacity is the same as before, and location, you can really break it down. So again, if we go into the southeast, I'm going to uncheck the style. So it will give us a more varied type of venue, but let's go into the southeast and you can see you can break it down to the different counties as well, or just go all of southeast, which I'll keep.
and then there'll be a wider range and you can see all the different styles. So there's lots of options here, and they are all really high-end, beautiful venues for you to have a look at. So another website I would highly recommend taking a look at is Bridebook. So you can start a free trial. I'm not going to go in and do a trial, so I'm not going to have access to all the tools, but I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how it works. So this is obviously just the home page. It's got loads of amazing features and it is free, which I think is fantastic. So if we just go into planning tools here and then scroll down to wedding supplier search, and we're obviously just going to look at venues today, but they've got all the different categories. So this is where this is different to Coco. You can actually find all your wedding suppliers on this one as opposed to just a venue search. So I've obviously just checked Surrey and just gone into the counties, and then we can see all the different venues, and it gives you an idea of price on here as well, whether there's accommodation, how many people can actually attend the wedding, and so on, and a large list. And I think you have access to more features. You can actually sort of like drum into the different details a little bit more when you sign up and have an account, but obviously I haven't done that. So let's have a look at, so I know this particular venue as well. It's an absolutely stunning venue, Lowesley Park. So if we click this button here, it just takes you through and gives you a little bit more information. So again, you've got the price at the top, you've got the capacity, whether they're licensed, and so on. A little bit more information, which I think this is super helpful. You get some really good information here about the actual suppliers and just extra info, and you can just go and request a quote straight away, which is fab. What the venue can and can't do, which is really good. And I love the personal note from the manager, from Anna, who is absolutely lovely. And there's also some testimonials from couples as well. So really helpful website as well. At the minute, obviously not as many features in terms of the search, but you actually get the budget and lots of other features, so it's slightly different. And at the bottom here, I think this is really great. Just gives you an idea of the cost of weddings in Surrey, which is where we clicked, like the average cost and the average cost of a wedding in Surrey, which I also think is super useful. So both websites have really good benefits, so it's maybe good to work with them in conjunction with each other.
So there we go, guys. Just remember, when you're looking for your venue, make sure that you're sticking to that budget, because once you've allocated everything, you really don't want to be taking away from other parts of your day. Don't sort of blow all your money on your budget and then think, well, we can DIY everything, because you are going to put a lot of stress on yourself. Stick to that budget and find the right place, and you will find the right place. There are so many wonderful venues out there. You will find the right place for you. Remember, it's like choosing a house though. You will never find something that ticks every single box. You need to know what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not willing to compromise on. And again, I've done videos on venue searching before, and also the questionnaire to use when you finally go and look at your venues. Now, I would say pin it down to 3 venues to go and have a look at first. Go and have a look at those venues, and if you need to expand the search, then you can do, but try and whittle it down to 3 of your favourites. Check them out, and you'll then start to get a real buzz and a real vibe for what you're drawn to and what really, really works for you. I hope you found this video helpful. I have linked my questions to ask your venue document down below for you. I have linked all the videos that I've mentioned in this video down below for you as well. And I've also given you my budget breakdown sheet as well. So I hope that all of that has really helped you today. And I hope that this slightly different style of video was showing you actually how I plan stuff is helpful. So if you have found that helpful, then do let me know in the comments below, because I am trying to make sure that I'm providing you with content that you need. If you've got any ideas or any style of content that you want me to do, then again, let me know in the comments box below, because I want to help you as best I can. As always, guys, have a wonderful week. I cannot wait to see you next week. Happy planning. See you later. This channel there is thunder and lightning going on in the background, so that's ideal. But anyway, so we're looking inside my spreadsheet. I can't do this. Hey guys, so I had to take a slight interlude in the filming because a thunderstorm started happening, and basically you could hear it through the windows. The rain was crashing down, the thunder and lightning was going, and I tried to carry on filming and you couldn't hear me. But anyway, oh, flipping it.